Jennifer Selby with the City of Urbana.
And I'm Mishana Wogan with the City of Champaign.
The cities of Urbana and Champaign are committed to becoming a multimodal, bicycle-friendly community that supports sustainable transportation.
And with its small size, flat topography, and many low-volume streets, Champaign-Urbana is an ideal community for bicycling. You may see bicyclists riding for transportation, going to work or to school, running errands, shopping downtown, getting around town, or even using the bus for part of their commute.
You may see bicyclists riding for exercise or recreation, at the park, on a leisurely ride, or as part of a group ride.
In Champaign-Urbana, there are many places bicyclists can be found.
We ask bicyclists and motorists to be alert for each other.
We want to see you sharing the road.
The most important thing for bicyclists and motorists to remember is to always follow the rules of the road, which mean follow all traffic laws and drive in a predictable manner. This is the best way for bicyclists and motorists to get along and stay safe while sharing the road. Bicyclists must always ride with traffic and never against it. Motorists do not expect to see bicyclists riding towards them and therefore are not on the lookout for them, especially at intersections. Both bicyclists and motorists have less time to react when bicyclists go against the flow of traffic. Illinois law states that bicyclists should ride as far to the right as safe as practical. This is roughly 2 to 4 feet from the white line at the edge of the road or where the right wheel travels of the motor vehicle. However, the law allows the bicyclist to move farther to the left when overtaking and passing a bicycle or motor vehicle, to prepare for a left turn, to avoid parked vehicles, to avoid drainage grates or debris, or to prevent a motorist from passing too closely and squeezing a bicyclist. Keep in mind that if a bicyclist moves left, taking the lane, and into the motorist's path, it is for safety reasons. By Illinois law, when overtaking a bicyclist, a motorist shall leave a safe distance, not less than 3 feet, and shall maintain that distance until safely past the overtaken bicycle. If a motorist cannot pass with at least 3 feet, they should wait until they can safely do so. Bicyclists are granted all of the rights and are subject to all of the duties applicable to the driver of a motor vehicle. At stop signs and traffic signals, all vehicles must stop and either wait for a green light or proceed through the stop sign in the order that is appropriate. Bicyclists, by stopping at stop signs and traffic signals, you will make a positive impression and earn respect for following the rules of the road. Motor vehicles use their turn signals to let other road users know what they plan to do. To ride safely in traffic, bicyclists must use their hands and arms to signal their intentions. To signal a right turn, the bicyclist should extend their left hand and arm upward in an L, or they may extend the right hand and arm horizontally to show where they are going. To signal a left turn, the bicyclist should extend their left hand and arm horizontally to point their destination. To make a left turn, a bicyclist should plan and get into position early. If there is not a dedicated left turn lane, the bicyclist should position themselves in the center of the travel lane to prevent a motor vehicle from coming upon the bicyclist's left and preventing the bicyclist from turning. If there is a dedicated left turn lane, the bicyclist should scan over the left shoulder, find a gap in traffic, signal, and make a single lane change into the left side of the adjacent lane. Then, scan again, finding a gap, signal and merge into the dedicated left turn lane. When it is safe to do so, make the left turn. Never make a left turn from a bike lane or from the right edge of the road. Part of riding safely is being visible. Visible by road positioning, visible by wearing brightly colored clothing, and visible by having lights at night. By Illinois law, a bicycle must have a front white light that is visible from a distance of at least 500 feet and a rear-facing red reflector that can be seen for up to 600 feet. A rear light visible from 500 feet may also be used with the red reflector. It is also a good idea to wear white or reflective clothing when bicycling at night. Above all, predictability is the key to bicycle safety. Bicyclists should ride in a straight line. Do not weave in and out of parked cars, and do not move into turn lanes at intersections if the intended path is to continue straight. Drive your bicycle as you would a car. Following the rules of the road is predictable and does not leave motorists guessing a bicyclist's next move. Pavement markings and signs are used to warn and direct motorists and bicyclists and to regulate traffic. There are several new bicycle markings and signs throughout both Champaign and Urbana to be aware of. Bike lanes are pavement markings used to help bicyclists and motorists share the road. A bike lane is a dedicated travel lane within the street space for the exclusive use of bicyclists. Bike lanes make it easier for bicycles and motor vehicles to share the road by providing a separate space for each mode of travel. A motorist should not park or drive in a marked bike lane unless it is necessary to make a right turn at an intersection, enter or leave a driveway, or park in a lane adjacent to the bike lane. To make a right turn across a bike lane at an intersection, a motorist should merge across the bike lane as they approach the intersection, yielding first to through bicyclists. The bike lane line becomes dashed in advance of the intersection to indicate to both motorists and bicyclists that crossing the line is allowed and that merging may take place at this point. Bicyclists and motorists should use caution in this area. To make a right turn across a bike lane at a driveway, a motorist should make their turn from the through vehicle lane. Do not merge into the bike lane. Crossing a solid white line requires special care. Be sure to check for bicyclists in the bike lane prior to turning and to yield to through bicyclists. A motorist should never speed up and pass a bicyclist, then attempt to make a right turn in front of the bicyclist. This is called the infamous right hook. The safer option is to slow down and let the bicyclist pass before making the right turn. Some bike lanes are located adjacent to motor vehicle parking lanes. By Illinois law, no person shall open the door of a vehicle on the side of moving traffic unless and until it is reasonably safe to do so and can be done without interfering with the movement of other traffic. After parking and before opening vehicle doors, a motorist should first check their mirror and turn around to look in their blind spots for bicyclists. Only when it is safe to do so should a motorist open their door. If a bike lane is located within the door zone of a motor vehicle, a bicyclist should ride toward the left edge of the bike lane, away from the parked cars. In Champaign-Urbana, the tick marks that indicate the front and back of a motor vehicle parking space are extended out into the bike lane to encourage bicyclists to ride out of the door zone. Bicyclists are not obligated to ride in the bike lane. If the bike lane is full of debris, the bicyclist should scan for traffic behind them, signal their intention, and merge into the vehicle traffic. If the bicyclist chooses, they may then merge back into the bike lane. The shared lane marking, also called a sharrow, is a pavement marking in a motor vehicle lane that is too narrow to be shared side by bicyclists and passing motorists. The sharrow is used to alert motorists of the location bicyclists are likely to be riding in the travel lane, to assist bicyclists with positioning in narrow lanes to avoid being squeezed, and to encourage safe passing of bicyclists by motorists. As the cities implement their bicycle plans, you will begin to see even more pavement markings and signs to help motorists and bicyclists share the road. There are many different types of motor vehicles that bicyclists must share the road with, but special care should be taken when riding on a street that is also a bus route. Bicyclists should ride as far to the right on the road as safe as practical. However, buses are also typically driving in the right lane and are pulling over to the right curb to pick up and drop off passengers. It is important for bicyclists to be aware of the location of buses ahead of and behind them so they can be prepared to act accordingly. It is easy to recognize bus stops adjacent to the bike lanes because, similar to intersections, the bike lane lines become dashed along the bus stop, indicating that merging may take place at this point, and to be aware and use caution in this area. However, bus stop locations may not always be so easy to recognize. Champaign-Urbana MTD buses will pick up and drop off passengers at many locations, including mid-block stops and stops that are not always identified with a bus stop sign. If a bus is pulled over to the bike lane or pulled over to the curb, A bicyclist should behave the same as when overtaking a slower moving road user. Scan for traffic, signal, and merge into motor vehicle traffic. Bicyclists should pass at least 3 feet from the bus to ensure that they can be seen in the bus driver's mirror. Never pass a bus on the right side. Bicyclists should pay attention to the bus's rear signal lights. If the bus is picking up and dropping off passengers, both backlights will be flashing. If the bus is getting ready to re-enter the vehicle lane, the left turn signal will be on. If the left turn signal is on, the bicyclist should assume that the bus does not see them and will re-enter the vehicle lane. The bicyclist should slow down and let the bus pull out in front of them. Buses do have blind spots, and operators are trained about them, but it is always best to ride defensively. Bicyclists have the right to ride on the sidewalks in both Champaign and Urbana, except in the central business districts. Keep in mind, though, that motorists are typically not looking for or expecting bicyclists on the sidewalk. Pedestrians are also typically not expecting a speeding bicyclist to be on the sidewalk. When riding a bicycle on a sidewalk or shared use path, it is important to remember to travel slowly, yield to the right-of-way of pedestrians, and give an audible signal before overtaking and passing them. If a shared use path exists parallel to the road, a bicyclist is not required to use it. They may choose to ride in the road, or they may choose to ride on the shared use path until a point where they feel comfortable riding with motor vehicle traffic. For a bicyclist, transitioning from a shared use path to the street is similar to motorists leaving a side street or a driveway. Approach the transition area while scanning over the left shoulder, signal, find a gap, and when it is safe to do so, merge into motor vehicle traffic. It is against city ordinance to ride a bicycle on sidewalks in downtown Urbana, downtown Champaign, and Campus Town. The cities welcome patrons to their downtowns to visit the many restaurants, art galleries, and shops. However, the large number of pedestrians walking, diners eating outdoors, and shoppers stepping out of shops make the sidewalk an unsafe place to ride. For everyone's safety, please dismount and walk your bicycle on downtown sidewalks.
So remember, road safety for everyone depends on both motorists and bicyclists behaving predictably, following all traffic laws, and sharing the road.
We want everyone to get to their destinations safely. Thank you for watching. Visit the City of Urbana, the City of Champaign, and the League of Illinois Bicyclists websites for more information.
CU Sharing the Road is a joint production between the cities of Champaign and Urbana, with support from Champaign-Urbana Safe Routes to School project, Champaign County Bikes, the Champaign-Urbana Mass Transit District, and the University of Illinois. This video was produced at the facilities of Urbana Public Television.